Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. Welcome to the Crofton Warrior Podcast, the only school podcast that's actually kind of funny sometimes. I'm Jack.
I'm Quinn.
And today, I guess we're doing kind of a cumulative...
Christmas!
We're doing sort of... we're doing kind of a remembrance. No, that's not the word. No.
For when Santa died?
Oh my god.
No.
Today we're doing sort of a looking back episode in a way. Half looking back, half looking forward. Because this is the last episode of the Crofton Warrior Podcast of the semester. Ever. This is the last episode of this semester. We're not in journalism next semester.
No, so we'll have to work something out.
Yeah, we'll have to work something out, but...
We won't leave you hanging.
We won't leave you hanging. Quinn and Carly and the only people who listen to this podcast. And my mom, probably. Anywho, we won't leave you hanging, and who knows what we're going to do, but this will be our last one for this semester. And then we're probably going to take a winter break in between there. And then we'll see what's happening.
We'll see. We'll get something arranged.
I think if it's just us making it, I think we'll do every other week.
Yeah.
Instead of every week. Because we don't have time to work on it.
Yeah, we don't have time in class.
Yeah. So I think we can do every other week.
We'll have to take our free time to make you guys happy. So thank you.
So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
But I kind of want to talk about this podcast.
I'm down.
Quinlan, do you like this podcast?
No. I'm kidding. I love this podcast. It's so fun.
I have a great time making it.
It's just two goobers being able to have fun together.
Yeah.
And we get graded on this.
Yeah, we have been getting graded on this.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. That really brings up my journalism grade.
Same here.
Yeah. I really enjoy this podcast. It's given me something to kind of look forward to.
That's what I'm saying.
I always need something to like pour my entire heart and soul into.
See, I'm not that way. You're weird.
But that's this. That's this right now.
Yeah.
I always need something to really work on. And it's this.
And it's this. This is what you're working on.
This is what I'm always working. I go home, I edit for an hour.
That's why you're the best podcast mate out there.
Aw, thanks.
You know how hard... You guys don't know how hard it is because you don't edit a podcast. He's sitting here slaving away for a podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'll slave away.
Well,
I just edit. It's not that bad.
Guys, it's terrible.
I just changed... This morning, I changed my Instagram bio to voted least attractive podcast host 2023.
No! No!
Because that was a thing. I think it was like People Magazine or something. They had like most attractive podcast hosts. Do you know? Guess who it was?
Joe Rogan.
It was. It was not Joe Rogan. They voted Taylor Lautner.
I don't even know who that is.
You ever watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yeah.
Shark Boy.
He has a podcast?
Well, yeah. He's famous for not podcasting, but he just happens to have a podcast.
Oh.
It's really weird how at this point, you know, like 2016, where mainstream celebrities started making YouTube channels.
Yeah.
That's how it's kind of getting to be with podcasts.
Yeah, in 2023, a bunch of famous people that were falling off the face of the earth are like,
let's make a podcast.
Retribution podcast time.
Why not? Make a podcast. I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
They want their fame again.
Yeah. Podcast is such a weird medium. Let me go on a rant about this for a second.
Go for it.
Okay. Podcasting as a whole is so interesting because this isn't me doing research for this podcast. This is me just what I know. Think about where we are as a society, right? You see the rise of, well, first you had the rise of like YouTube and stuff in like 05 to
08.
Well, it started in 05, but then it really started to blow up around 2010, you know?
Yeah.
But like now, this is a quiz. What app is having a lot more users than YouTube? TikTok.
Bing, bing, bing.
TikTok is very short form entertainment. It's really quick. On to the next.
Yeah, if something doesn't catch your eye in 0.5 seconds, you're gone.
Yeah, little dopamine hits on your head, right? So it's such short form content, and it's, you might see interviews, but then it's either a 2-second interview or it's an interview that's
90 parts.
90 parts, and then there's GTA gameplay right underneath, you know? It's so interesting to see that.
It's the guys cleaning like the super dirty rugs.
Yeah,
the rugs that are just like
super dirty rugs.
Brown.
Or it's people like making
like wood stuff.
Worst food you've ever seen.
Yeah,
and
or like
it
those
into a fryer.
stupid life hacks.
Yeah, or it's stupid it's something like that.
Yeah, something that you don't have to just watch the people talk. You can listen to the people talk,
and you watch somebody playing a crappy mobile game.
Yeah,
underneath.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't. What I'm saying is, you have the rise of TikTok, and that is very much really quick entertainment.
Yeah.
And then podcasts they're more on the rise. They've been on the rise for a while, but like they're
getting there.
They're really getting on the rise now, and that's the complete opposite of TikTok.
Yeah.
Essentially,
it's listening.
It's listening, but two, it's long form entertainment.
It's like hours.
Yeah, it's hours sometimes.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like it probably is a playing factor that is just audio and that you can do something else while doing it. I don't think anybody sits down and just listens to a podcast.
Yeah, if you do, I mean, thanks for listening to ours, but
I'm concerned about you. Yeah, honestly,
like do homework or something.
Do homework. Do the dishes. Do something. But
wash your dog.
Wash your dog. Anything. But it's so interesting to see that. You know, the rise of this short form media, and then also this rise of long form, normally interview content. And also, I've seen podcasts take the sort of spotlight from, well, not podcasts, but the media itself of social media and, you know, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. I've seen that kind of take celebrity lifestyle to a different level, you know, because back in the day, I think that's kind of to blame for the fall of late night, you know, late night,
like not post.
You got it.
Late night TV,
like late night TV, yeah. Like Jimmy Fallon, like the Tonight Show, Late Show, whatever stuff like that. I've watched so many YouTube documentaries on this. I love video essays. I'm just going to keep talking. But it used to be, you know, I want to see this celebrity acting how they do just in their normal everyday life in an interview. Oh, I'm going to tune into Johnny Carson, you know?
Yeah, but now you have that.
Nowadays, you have this at your fingertips.
Yeah, and they're like at their house.
Yeah, they're just at their house. They post on YouTube. They post on Instagram. They tweet, haha, funny fart joke, you know?
Yeah, and then you can just whip out your phone and find that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so interesting to see that podcasting has also kind of taken that over. I listen to Conan O'Brien's podcast a lot. Love Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Best late night host. Obviously, I wasn't alive during Johnny Carson, but like best late night host.
Johnny he was in Nebraska.
He was from Norfolk.
So he's the best in my books.
I guess so.
Anybody famous from Nebraska, I have to at least like them.
Yeah. I told you the guy who sang "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch."
Yeah.
And also voiced like Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, now I've listened to that soundtrack 8,000 times.
What's his name? Thurl Ravenscroft? Thurl Ravenscroft.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he died in 2005.
R.I.P.
He was 91.
Holy.
So he would not be alive if he didn't have prostate cancer in 2001. But, anywho, yeah, he was also born in Norfolk, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I have to like him because there's not that many famous people. I don't know who.
Mr.
Warren Buffett.
Grinch.
He's
Isn't
super
he from Nebraska?
Yeah, he lives in Lincoln, I think.
Oh, he's just rich as nuts.
He's super rich, so I have to like him because he's from Nebraska.
Yeah, I guess so.
Anybody that's like famous from Nebraska,
you have to like him.
Because nobody's famous from Nebraska.
Yeah, only like 4 people.
Yeah, everybody's like Nebraska. That's only corn.
Johnny Carson, Thurl Ravenscroft, Warren Buffett, and JoJo Siwa. She's from Omaha.
I like JoJo Siwa now.
No. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Anywho, it's kind of taken over late night. And I see that a lot in Conan O'Brien's podcast. Because Conan O'Brien had his show on TBS, right? He had Conan, and it was an hour long. And then he kind of adapted to the media. He was like, oh, this ain't working. Half an hour. He shortened his show. And then eventually, I think it was 21, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He just ended his show altogether, and he does his podcast. He started doing his podcast in like 2018.
Yeah,
and
now he does that.
It's going well. Now he does that, and obviously, like, he does other stuff. But like, he quit his late night show and he does his podcast because his podcast is, I assume, just so much more in demand, and also just that
it's so accessible.
That medium is so much more accessible. It's so much more because you don't have to sit down and watch.
Yeah, it's not just late night.
Yeah, you sit down and you have, instead of having this like scripted interview with, you know, Timmy Tom Thompson in the latest movie, you sit down with Timmy Tom Thompson and you're actually having a full conversation. You want to see how they're really like? Just go on Spotify for a minute.
And then you can go on Spotify and see what they're really like whilst cleaning the dishes.
Whilst doing the dishes.
It's just optimization.
Yeah, it is. So maybe I'll bet that's the reason, because instead of watching a Family Guy episode while watching somebody play a crappy mobile game, you can do the dishes while listening to
Family Guy.
Not a Family Guy episode, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just so interesting to see that we have gone two nearly completely different directions, and TikTok and really short form entertainment, bow, 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 are you entertained yet, to this other side of the tree of 45-minute podcast episodes where it's just two guys goofing and gabbing back and forth.
And they're both thriving so much.
Yeah, they are.
Like, they're both going up and up and up.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So interesting. I'm going to look up most popular podcasts.
Joe Rogan. Let me guess. Joe Rogan. Mr. Beast, if he has one.
Joe Rogan. Mr. Beast does not have.
Logan Paul. I bet his is pretty popular.
I doubt. Oh, Impulsive? Maybe. I know that Joe Rogan, I'll bet NPR's up there for something. And I know The Office. Like, there's like Office Ladies, where they're trying to capitalize on The Office because they were in that. Like, two of the actresses, and they like go over episodes.
Is who was it?
That was Emma.
Oh, I didn't know who it was. And I wanted to know. Anyway, back to I bet there's like Markiplier. He does one, I think.
Oh yeah,
he's probably pretty good.
He's probably Joe Rogan, Crime Junkie. Is
that like BuzzFeed?
I'll bet it's True Crime.
Yeah, that's like BuzzFeed True Crime.
Is massive. Yeah. The Daily, I assume that's like news. I don't know. Office Ladies is number 9. Stuff you should know. You know stuff you should know?
You've told me about that.
Dude, stuff you should know. So fun. It's so fun.
Shout out Stuff You Should Know.
I don't know what Call Her Daddy is, but I assume it's funny.
I would guess.
Impulsive with Logan Paul, 14.
Where's Joe Rogan?
Oh, Theo Von's podcast.
Oh.
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, number 17. It's such a good podcast.
Where was Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan is 1.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I just want to say, shout out Conan. Conan is the best podcast.
Shout out Conan and shout out Joe Rogan.
I love Conan's podcast.
If either one of you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, Radiolab, yeah. I think podcasts are also kind of taking over radio.
That would make so much sense.
In this whole media conversation, I just want to say, it is so interesting that we went from, you have radio and you have cable television. I think they're somewhat, just for the sake of the argument, they're the same thing, right?
Yeah.
You get from that, you have cable television, you pay like $100 a month for it, right? For however many channels, whatever. $100. That's what we're going to say.
Yeah.
Then you see the rise of Netflix has so much stuff on it. And then that is like $15 a month. So everyone's like, I'm just going to go get Netflix.
Well, yeah.
And then everyone sees that that's doing well. Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max. You see a bunch of different things getting shot up. Peacock comes out. And then suddenly everything's off Netflix. The Office is taken off Netflix. That was the big one, I remember, back in the day. But like a bunch of stuff is taken off Netflix. You to get the same sort of stuff that you would just get with Netflix in 2010, you just get. I know a lot of people just have like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, maybe.
Yeah.
We have Disney Plus and Hulu. That's all it. But you have all of these on-demand services. Like instead of, I want to watch I want to watch Everybody Loves Raymond. So I'm gonna turn on the TV at 5 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, you could be like, I want to watch it now.
I want to watch Bob's Burgers right now. Oh, let me go on Hulu.
They added Young Sheldon on Netflix recently.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So like it's kind of it's that on demand. I don't know if on demand. I think on demand.
I think it's on demand. Yeah.
It's on demand instead of like scheduled television, and that's nearly the only difference.
Yeah.
And so now you start seeing like cable bundles, quote cable bundles of like, instead of cable bundles of like you get these channels, yada yada, you get streaming bundles of Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, or something like that. And so it's so interesting that instead we went from, oh, it's like $100 a month to, oh, it's like $15 for this one service. Oh, now it's like $100 a month
for all these services.
But the only difference is
you can watch it when you want.
You can watch it when you want to, and I think that says a lot about what society we're in right now. And it's so interesting.
Like we want it now, so we're gonna pay.
Podcasts, radio.
Do you think
podcasts are the successor of radio?
Do you think that radio will ever be like, obviously not fully gone, because they'll
just
still
like
be
dying?
Yeah.
I had this conversation with my dad the other day.
Well, because I feel
by the other day, I mean like a year ago.
I feel like Spotify.
Yeah.
Like you can listen to the music you want to listen to whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like there's no need for radio stations.
I don't think so. Yeah.
When you can just listen to whatever you want.
I don't know about, because obviously the thing keeping radio. How does radio? Oh, radio gets paid through ads.
Yeah.
Through ads on the radio. So like, it's radio and streaming music. That's the same as cable and
But it's just that you can listen to what you want.
Yeah.
Instead of.
So I don't know if, because cable TV dying.
Yeah.
But radio is, I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's dying.
Once you see, well, kind of, but like once you see the older generation go out, and you see, say, like our generation or the generation above us, our generation grew up with this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If you think that will move out with them, and then we're the next up and coming generation.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
I think that, because I feel like the majority of people listening to music is obviously the older population.
Mm-hmm.
So once the older population sadly go,
yeah, when time moves forward,
then I think that Spotify and Apple Music and Pandora will, I think they'll just take over. I think that's the natural process.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like cars. They have built-in, Spotify, CarPlay, whatever. So, like, coming from your phone where you have all your music and stuff. I'm trying to think of a downside of this. Like, what a problem with this would be.
I could think, like, more ads.
I'm thinking immediate news broadcasts. What do you do?
That's the only thing. I think immediate news broadcasts. And is there ones that are like sports coverage?
Sports coverage, that's true. Sports coverage, you got ESPN, you got Big Ten streaming service, whatever you want to use.
Like, is there stuff that you can, like
live sports? I'm pretty sure.
Because if there's that's what I would think of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Well, at this point, you don't watch TV for news.
No.
You go on Twitter.
You go on Twitter or TikTok
or something.
Half of it's wrong. Probably 75% of it's wrong.
That's a good point. That is a good point. On TV is most of it wrong?
I think that's like a political debate.
Is the misinformation more or less on social media?
In my mind, I want to say more. I feel like that's...
I don't know about that one. You know what was a big story back like a little while ago? I think there was like some sort of big old strike happening in Europe, and I don't remember where it was. And there was like violence being used by the government against the people, which
say what you will about that. Opinions. But there was a whole thing that it wasn't being televised. It wasn't being anything. But on TikTok, people were posting it. Mm-hmm. And people were posting what was happening. And people were getting up in arms about that. And it wouldn't have happened if TikTok wasn't this platform that anyone could share anything on. And nobody would know about it. So, like, is there some sort... There's obviously some sort of filter on television. Look at... I mean, I've researched the crap out of this because I went on a big old research rampage about George Carlin and his 7 dirty words routine.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, stuff that you can and can't show on TV. Like, you know, Vietnam War was being put on TV, and you see a guy get shot in the head, and then later, and, like, nowadays...
That would not fly.
No, that would not fly.
Yeah.
Ukraine War is being, like, televised. You don't see someone getting shot.
No, you just see someone talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not... There's more censorship, and I assume there's more censorship of, like, the media of, like, people getting shot, curse words, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, there's also censorship of what you're talking about in like, subject matter of, like, should we be talking about if everybody's dying in this one country? Would that get people up in arms, you know?
I never thought about that.
We were just talking about in history, was it the Iran-Contra affair? Something. It was essentially president kept his mouth shut because they didn't know full details and didn't know if it was going to be okay. And then it ended up being okay. Everyone started hearing about it and was like, "Why'd you lie to us, Mr. President?" And he was like, whamp, whamp. I don't know. He was like, "I didn't want to tell you before all of this stuff came out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say the right thing when we knew everything." And so, is it a bad thing that people are hearing about things more readily from the people who are, like, experiencing it? Is it good if we have more censorship of what we hear?
That's very interesting.
This is philosophical at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's all in the safety of the people and how much control can you have over people's knowledge.
Yeah, well, because obviously, like, I'd say probably the normal person would be like, I want to know what's happening. Mm-hmm. But
is that always good?
Yeah, what's the point where that turns bad?
Yeah. So you see a lot of that now. I assume there's a lot of discussion of that. I mean, conspiracy, this is 100% alleged, but, like, people trying to ban TikTok in the US. Mm-hmm. Is that because of the knowledge that we're getting from overseas? Because obviously you hear it's about, like, China taking our information.
Yeah, that's what we hear.
Very probably a good argument.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true. I don't know if what I'm saying is true.
But that's what.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of told. But, like, people are like, is it because? I think it was like in France, but I don't want to say French Revolution because that sounds like history. Mm-hmm. But, like, is it because we're learning things that are happening that we shouldn't be learning about?
Oh my God, this is.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
It is. It's the internet age is so interesting.
Yeah,
because, I mean, we're so interconnected with everything, and obviously that's very overwhelming for everything. You look at the news nowadays, and it's like everyone's dying, we're all screwed. When, you know, if you're waking up in the '60s, you're like, yeah, Jim went into town and his wife died. That's about all that happened today.
Yeah, that sucks.
You don't hear about stuff until, like, it's massive and World War II is happening.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I said 60s, but, you know.
We're going to get assassinated because how much facts we're spitting right now.
No, but, like, how interconnected everything is now with how crazy it gets. I know in history class, shout out Mr. Dorr.
Mr. Dorr and Mr. Cagle.
And Mr. Cagle, but mostly Mr. Dorr. Mr. Dorr puts stuff in his curriculum that doesn't have to be in it. He teaches us the entire curriculum that he has to teach, and he also teaches us more about history. I know there was a Red Summer. I'm talking a lot about history. If you don't know about history, it'll repeat itself. But we're talking about Red Summer, which is fear about communists, yada yada, you know? And this one guy, this black man, I think this was in Omaha, was like...
Nebraska.
Yeah, was like heavily beaten.
This is like a real story?
Yeah, and was like killed and like drugged through the streets, shot several times, and like lit on fire in this pile. And there's a picture of this like body in a fire. It's so indistinguishable that you can barely tell that it's a body.
Yeah, it's like an old picture. But.
It's an old picture, and this man has been beaten so much.
Oh, that you can't tell.
But it is an image of this, and Mr. Dorr said, this isn't taught in Nebraska. If you go to like usually any other history class, it's probably not taught. And Mr. Cagle was like, what? That's crazy, because this is if you ask any other state about this picture, they will know it.
Really?
Yeah. And he said, this isn't supposed to be this. Well, it's not that it's not supposed to be, but it's like this isn't on the curriculum in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Because it happened in Omaha.
Oh,
and that probably paints him in a bad light, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So shout out Mr. Dorr for teaching us this sort of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really awesome. So like, is it that connecting that to social media? Is there stuff that you wouldn't learn about if we're just like living here?
I'm sure.
Versus if you're hearing other people's testimony, other people talking, and then is that stuff true? Is another hurdle that you need to jump over. How interesting is this?
Very.
How interesting is the world? Dude, the internet age is crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, the scope that everything is
humongous.
wild. I was having this conversation with my sister Quinn.
Not me.
No, not you. We were playing Mancala, and we were talking about how wide the scope is for everything. Like, numbers are so big. Back in the day, if you were a celebrity and like 2 million people knew you, you were one of the biggest celebrities on the planet. Nowadays, Mr. Beast has over 200 million subscribers. That is crazy.
Yeah, there's people on Twitter where it's like over 200 million.
That is wild.
Followers. That's insane. That's
insane.
Like 2/3 of America.
Yeah, we were talking about there's a band that I like, Wolfpack. They have like 1 million and some monthly listeners on Spotify, which nowadays that's not that big.
It's not that big.
And so they did that. They have that, and they're very respected within like the industry. They're like funk sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And they played Madison Square Garden. They sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And Madison Square Garden in New York, massive venue. I don't know how many people.
Is it like Taylor Swift level of selling out?
It's an arena.
Yeah.
It's 19,500 people.
Yeah,
fit
that's
in there.
a lot of people.
19. So like 20,000 people can fit in there, and this band Wolfpack sold it out. And they are not that big of a band.
Yeah, that's
to
insane.
Today's standards.
That is insane.
Back in the day, if somebody sold out Madison Square Garden,
you were like Michael Jackson.
You were massive.
Elvis Presley.
You had a massive following.
Like, you were humongous.
Yeah, and now the numbers don't reflect that in the sort of thing, because you can have 2 million followers on Instagram, and you are in like the bottom 5%. Of most followers. Like, it is crazy the amount, the how wide the scope has become for how many people you can reach with what you have.
Yeah.
In just the internet age. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. So like, to be considered quote unquote big is wild. You have Taylor Swift selling out arenas
like
every day.
So many arenas.
Yeah.
She's been on tour for how long?
I think it's set for like 4 years. Not so far, but She's been on tour for at least a year now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just the amount of people that people can reach with stuff has grown exponentially.
Yeah, from all your Twitters and TikToks.
From all your Twitters and TikToks and stuff. I remember I downloaded TikTok in like 2019. I remember then, even since then, 2019 to now, almost 5 years, by the way. That is crazy.
That's not good.
But I remember then, or like 2020, if there was a video that had 1 million likes, that was pretty big.
You're like, oh my gosh.
That was a big video. Then you talk about that at school, everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
You know? Now
you're scrolling and there's 2 million.
Yeah, 2 million
1.3.
likes. If there's a big video, it has like 11 million likes.
Yeah.
That is crazy. 11 million people saw it and liked it.
That means like the video probably has 50 million views at least.
Yeah, at least. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Just the general how big stuff has gotten is absolutely crazy.
Because it's so common to see 1 million likes now.
Yeah, everything's growing.
I scroll past and I'm like, oh yeah, that's usual.
Yeah. It's just wild.
It is.
Everything's growing so big.
Every single video, mostly every single video has at least 100,000 likes. Mm-hmm. And that's like low.
Yeah.
100,000 likes back in...
Oh, I remember when I was posting TikToks and I would get hype if I hit 10K.
You're like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, 10K likes. And then, like, slowly, it was just like, eh.
Oh, 10K likes.
10K likes. And it was like, yeah, 10K likes. Yeah. And, I'm trying to... I try to not to look at numbers and stuff now.
Yeah, we all get it. You had a video that had like 1.3 million views. We get it. You're so cool.
But like now, you make a video with like 1 million views, you're hype.
Yeah.
But like it's not like everyone's seeing that.
Yeah, it's not life changing at all.
It's just like a small percentage of TikTok users.
It's like cool. You were a little viral for this time.
Yeah, you're a little viral today.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's crazy how big stuff is. Anywho, the podcast.
You're a philosophical little boy,
dude. You don't even know. I think about this stuff all the time, and I love conversating about it. Dude. I know so much about media. I know so much about YouTube.
I am not that type of guy.
I am very much that type of guy.
I
love me a good video essay.
Oh, some video essays. I don't know. It depends. I like true crime video essays.
I've watched like one.
True crime really encapsulates me. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I have like that morbid curiosity that's like, that's crazy that someone can actually do that.
Yeah. The stuff that people do.
Yeah.
Wild.
I thought you were gonna...
Why would they do that?
Why?
Anywho.
Any hizzle.
Any hizzle. It's crazy. Everything's crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm hyped that we have 400 listeners to this podcast.
Yeah, I would dap up every single one of you.
I would dap up everybody.
Yeah.
One person has listened today. These aren't big numbers, but I still love it.
There's 2 people listening as we're recording this. This is live right now.
This is live. Chat, is this real?
Is this real?
I saw somebody talking about, is chat a new 4th person pronoun? And I don't even know what that means.
Oh, you said chat. I thought you said Jack.
Jack?
Chat, is this real?
No. Chat. I see people talking about that.
What is 4th person?
I don't even know what 3rd person is.
Yeah, 3rd person's... What the heck is 3rd?
I don't know.
What?
I don't even know what it means. It's crazy. It's like 2D, 3D. What's 4D? I don't even...
Yeah, 4D is like...
And then people are like, yeah, 8 dimension. And I'm like, well,
Chat is 8-dimensional speaking.
Isn't the 4th dimension time?
I don't know. I'm not a nerd. Go ask Einstein or something.
I just look at like interviews of Neil deGrasse Tyson and they're like, what's the 4th dimension? It's like
cool.
Time.
Yeah.
The 4th dimension is time. And I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Or like Bill Nye or something.
Can you... I know we both said we don't know what 4 dimension is, but can you make a 4-dimensional shape? Is that a thing?
I think it's it just has like 2 minutes.
This square is 2 minutes long by 2 minutes wide.
Well, okay, yeah. I see pictures of like a 4th dimensional object, but we can't imagine it because we just don't know 4th dimension. We see in 3D, I guess. I don't know.
Can I get an upgrade
don't
to
ask
4D?
me. I I don't know. Can I upgrade my phone to 5G?
5G gives you cancer.
I don't know.
Don't do that.
I don't know about anything. I know a good amount about like YouTube and like media.
I know a couple YouTubers.
I just find it so interesting. There's so much interesting stuff happening, and like it doesn't come up in like political debate. You watch like the Republican GOP debate, and they're just like fracking, and it's like, what
Markiplier.
Yeah, but like, do you think that like TikTok has to do with the growing knowledge of the world?
Yeah, I'm like,
but they're actually just like yelling and insulting each other.
You're dumb.
You're dumb. Keep my daughter's name out of your voice. That's what one of them said.
It's so funny,
dude. Politics. I don't want to talk about politics.
I don't either, because I hate them. I'm standing on this hill. I'm not gonna vote because I don't give two rats poops enough.
I think you should.
The only reason I would vote is for the sticker.
Well, okay, if nobody voted, if less people vote, then the people who are going to vote, it's going to be half people who are dumb. I love this quote. I don't even remember who said it. Give me a second.
I don't know. I don't want to pay attention to politics.
Just kind of like, just look up the people who are running and then think of what they run.
What their beliefs are?
Think of what their beliefs are. Think of how much they correspond to yours and who's better for like what America you want, and then vote for them.
Markiplier is president.
Honestly, probably that'd be amazing.
That wouldn't be bad.
This George Carlin quote: "Think of how stupid the average person is, then realize half of them are stupider than that."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Isn't that a great quote though?
Wait, that's an awesome quote.
George Carlin.
That's an awesome quote.
I love that guy. I've been listening to his podcast. I've been listening to his comedy specials. I love him. He's a comedy legend.
Comedy legend.
Comedy legend. Very cool.
Very cool.
You got any Christmas plans?
I'll probably go to my dad's for a little bit.
Woo!
Yay!
Dadamo.
Don't know about that.
Father Mo.
Oh, that I like that.
Father Mo. Amen.
Father Mo.
Do you do anything for like Christmas?
I mean, we invite family, and then we eat food, and then we open presents.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll probably go do something like out in public. We'll probably go to the Big Apple.
Ooh.
You know that?
Like,
it's
New York?
No. We'll go to the Bean.
Oh, in
Chicago.
Kearney.
Yeah, in Kearney.
Oh.
We'll go to the Big Apple. Well,
I thought you meant New York.
No.
I really thought you meant New York.
We'll probably do go-karts or something.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
I almost got lost in the Big Apple.
How?
Well, not lost, but like me and Grant were in there. We went there for band. Because we were.
How long ago?
We were in Kearney when we were freshmen, or like 7th, 8th graders.
Oh, I thought you were like 4.
No, when you were 7th or 8th graders, we went in there and we had a fun time, and it was like, okay, we're gonna leave at like 3, but if we get bored, we'll leave at 2, but we'll let you know. And we were like just in there, and we didn't have any service.
Y'all were having a blast, I assume.
And we were just kind of walking around, and then we just started realizing there are no Crofton people in here. And we were like, why are there no Crofton people in here? And we tried to look around and see if there was anybody in here. And then we were like, what do we do? And we looked out after like 5 minutes, and we looked out, and like the bus was there, and we were like,
the bus.
And then we walked in, and everyone's like, where are you? And then I like got out my phone, and it finally had service, and there were like 7 missed calls. And I was like,
I'm sorry.
And this is when I'm like a 7th or 8th grader.
Were you like with the big band?
The Crofton band.
Yeah.
We were down there for Class C. There's junior high and there's high school Class C.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like my sisters were there, and they were like, we were so freaking worried you're gonna leave, and you weren't on the bus. We started roll call, and you weren't here.
And you're like, I was at the ball pit.
We're just walking. I was freaking out.
What time was it?
It was like 2.
Oh, I got you.
It was like 1:30. No, it was like.
It wasn't even 2.
They just didn't even tell us that they were leaving.
Oh my!
I was just like,
I don't know.
I was so scared. Nowadays, if that would happen, I'd be like, "Shut up! You didn't tell me."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Shut up! I'll drive myself home.
I'll drive myself home with this car I don't have.
Yeah, I'll steal a car and drive myself home.
Yeah.
And then who will be mad?
But I'd be freaked. I was so freaked out because there were like seniors who were like, we wanted to leave. And
they were like...
And dude, I was...
Oh, God.
I was, as I should have been, I was terrified of seniors.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? We need to be.
Well, yeah. When you're a little fella and a big fella's yelling at you, I'm like...
You're freaking out.
I'm like, no!
It makes me so mad that freshmen don't...
They don't respect that anymore.
They don't respect it anymore. Makes me mad.
When you're a senior, just start bullying freshmen.
I'm trying to now. I'm not trying to bully them. I'm trying to... If they are being like crazy and not respecting anybody, I try to put them in their place.
You're like, stop.
I'm like, knock it off. I know there's a couple freshmen. Not gonna name names, but they'll join activity. Not many of them do like every activity. Some of them join activities and then they just don't try.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you in the activity?
I know what you're thinking of.
Why are you in this? You know? And so I'm trying to get people. I'm like, work. Try.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
If you're not going to try, don't be in this.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing all of us down.
Exactly. What are you doing? And so I'm trying to... There's two sides. There's people who just don't care. Well, that's part of it. They just don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
They don't have respect for anybody. And I'm like, what are you doing?
How?
How are you living? Dude, if my mom is like, hey, you do the dishes. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll get to it.
I'm not going to be like, no.
I'm not going to be like, no. I would never do that. And so, like, I don't know what the...
Well, I understand seniors aren't your parents.
Seniors aren't your parents, but like,
they're still older than
respect
you.
the nuts off of them.
Yeah.
This
is their last year. They're the king of the jungle.
Dude, they are the king of the jungle. If one of them looks at you wrong, you're like, thank you for looking at me, I'm sorry. That's how it should be.
Yeah, last year if Jeffrey looked at me, I would have been like, I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I'm like now, even as a junior, I'm like if I'm hanging out, if we're in band or something, and I'm like chilling with Ellie or something, I'll be like, what up? Dap her up.
Yeah, that was a dap up noise.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey, how's it going? And we'll have a conversation. And if we're marching and Ellie's like, hey, Jack, do this, I'm like, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
There's so much in just saying okay and doing it.
Yeah, like if Emma told me to sing something different in tenor, I'd be like, yeah. I got you.
You know more than me. Yes.
Yeah, you know more than me. You're a senior.
I will do that.
I will do that.
Yes. There's just the respect there.
Yeah.
And like
you gotta.
I'm a junior. I'm an upperclassman.
Yeah.
And you still listen to them. Like,
see, and I bust your chops.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm your friend.
Yes.
We're buddies.
We're buddies.
We're buddies.
You can bust my chops.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But
yeah, I could do that.
We'll goof and gab.
But say like a different junior. I don't know.
Who's a junior?
Someone that I'm not friends with.
Someone that you're not friends with. Maddie. You're friends with Maddie. But if Maddie tells you to do something.
Yeah, if Maddie tells me to do something, I'll do it. I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, unless it's something stupid.
Yeah. I will say, there's a hierarchy, and it should be respected.
There should be.
A lot of the time, if there's something, like in band or something, and it's like, we got to load the drum set down or something, and it's like, freshmen?
Yeah, they should have to do it.
That's not how it is. They should do it because
you had to do that when you were a freshman.
We had to do that when we were a freshman.
That's how it goes.
That's how it is. And like, you're like, shut up. No.
If you tell me to shut up, I will punch you in the head. I'm telling that every freshman. Listen here.
If you tell me to shut up, legitimately, you're going to get it.
Shut up.
Okay. Okay, then. But I'm going to be just like, hey.
Come on.
Just stop it right
Listen
now.
to your elder.
I have several times. People just don't know how to shut up. Nowadays, back in my day. But like, it's so weird because there are so many times. I had a long conversation about this with Leader. Mm-hmm. Also, I love that like student teacher sort of bond you can have where you're just like, what up?
One thing that's awesome is when you're a little child or even now, and a teacher treats you like an adult.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so much better.
Yeah.
And I understand sometimes with like
sometimes you can't.
With most kids, you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. But I really like it when it is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Anywho, I was having a conversation with Leader, and I was like, people just don't know how to shut up. And she was like, tell me about it.
She's like, I agree.
That's another one of those respect things.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many times where it's like, hey guys, be quiet. Like during roll call on the bus.
Yeah.
See this at like one act in band or something? So many times it's roll call, people just start talking.
It's be quiet.
And I'm like, shut up.
You'll say the first 3 names and everybody's like,
yeah, exactly. That happened at Allstate. It was like down at Allstate Choir in Lincoln for anyone who doesn't know.
Do you mean like, what do you mean?
So
did they roll call the whole people?
No, there isn't roll call, but there is like I'm going to. Okay, I'll explain the whole circumstance. But this year, well, okay, years prior, it used to be. We were in Kimball Hall. This was on the UNL campus, and we would go onto the stage from there. Everyone, it's this stage. It's this auditorium, not auditorium, but like it's this stage with seats, and that's where all the practices are, right?
Yeah.
You go through this door, down this hallway, yada yada. Over here, this is the performance stage, right? So, we're in our organization. We have each row go out. It's kind of like stagger. Every other goes right or left.
Yeah.
You know? First row goes right, left, right, left. And so there's 2 lines walking down, and then we file onto the stage.
Yeah.
Onto the risers, and then a big old curtain comes up, and then you can see everybody. But you all get there, and then the curtain will come, and everybody's there. Right? So we all sit in this.
Is this for like the performance?
Yeah, this is for the final performance. So years prior, last year and the year before that, we would sit in this big hall, and it's a bunch of choir nerds. What do you end up doing? Singing.
Yeah.
And, I hate some of it, but I love some of it when it's like an actual choir song and everybody knows it. Like if it's an Allstate song from last year.
Then you're hype.
Then it's hype and it's great. So it would be like that sort of thing. This year it was all split up. And there were 2 groups instead of 1 because Kimball Hall was being worked on.
Yeah.
And we were in this one little theater, and it was half the people, and we were closer to the stage, so we couldn't be as loud. And people were talking, and it's like every now and then, shh.
Yeah.
And so it happened where they were going to open the door so we could all file out and walk in this line. And they said, shut up.
Yeah, they're like, be quiet.
They said, be quiet. We are opening
it's about
this
to
door.
go down.
Yeah, it's about to go down. We are opening this door.
Yeah.
Be quiet. They open the door, quiet for 5 seconds. People start talking.
No.
And I'm like, shut up.
Like, you
guys.
You dumb.
Shut up. Like, legitimately.
Because you're in front of the crowd now.
Seriously,
these people are
shut up.
watching you.
Exactly. And so it's sort of like, and then we go up on stage, and the curtains open and stuff, and then people are like leaning to like people behind them and like talking. And I'm like, shut up. What is wrong with you? Do you not understand the word shut up?
You're supposed to be quiet.
There are times where you need to be quiet.
And this is one of them.
What are you doing? Like, so many times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy, and it's crazy frustrating. So, like, or like somebody's just in band class. Leader's talking, she's like, hey, flutes, you're playing this note wrong. Or something. A flat today.
Yeah.
People are talking. And it's like, why?
Well, and like,
time and place.
Yeah, obviously it happens sometimes. Because I'm sure we've done that before while we've been talking. But then we get told to shut up, and we do it.
There's a certain level of respect that comes from that, and I think there's two sort of things. If you're talking and you shouldn't be, but then there's also after you're talking you shouldn't be, and then if the teacher says, "Hey guys, legitimately, shut up.
Yeah,
stop talking," and then if you keep talking,
you're in uncharted territories.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna
stop. I don't.
How are you not like with that big performance? How are you not embarrassed?
Yeah,
like these people have came to watch you, and you're just like blatantly just like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Whilst everybody else, presumably, unless you're all talking, was like everybody talking. It was just a couple of people.
It's just like these little groups, people. This one guy who's just super annoying. You know the type of people who just always want attention. Yeah.
I could think of a couple.
That type of guy, and he was like, "No, stop. Look, guys, I have a cone on my head." You know.
During?
No, not during the thing.
I was like,
he found this big cone, and he was like, "Look, there's a cone." They started talking to the cone. He's like, "Look, I have a cone." Blah blah blah.
I have a cone.
He's just that like.
You know if you're listening.
You know if you're listening. But I'm just like, what are you? Is it like attention deficit?
I don't know.
Do you not have? Do people not look at you enough?
That's crazy. How I would be so embarrassed.
I got so frustrated.
If we're at a concert here, and I was like, "Hey, Jack."
Yeah.
I would be like, "No, everybody saw me."
And then we started doing this during the like, quote unquote dress rehearsal. We weren't in our robes. It wasn't a dress rehearsal. It was just a final rehearsal. Final rehearsal, but like on the stage.
Yeah.
And I was wearing my donut sweater, and they were all talking, and they just want to get a rise out of anybody, and so they're just like, "Hey, donut sweater, I like your donuts. I'm gonna eat your donut. I want some donuts." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Literally, shut up.
I don't respond to them because I'm like, you either want me to be like, ha ha ha,
funny,
or
donut.
you want me to be like, shut up, man.
Shut up, my donut.
You just want me to.
You want me to say something.
You want me to get a right.
You want me to acknowledge you.
Yeah, exactly. You want me to acknowledge you. You want attention. And so they're just like, donut, I want a donut. And I'm just like,
that's like toddler behavior.
It is like toddler behavior. And
I'm donut.
I really want to. Sometimes I have my mom's talent of just having like big words and being so good at speaking that I can just be like, did you not get enough attention at home? And I could just like look at them and be like,
do your mommy and daddy not love you enough?
I could be like, do you not get enough attention? Do you understand that all you want right now is just a lot of attention? Do you see how whether or not I'm happy at you or mad at you, that you're going to be happy? I'm like, you're not making anyone's day better.
And they're just like,
and either they're like, oh, shut up. And I'm like, no.
I'm serious.
I'm completely dead serious. And you need to respect other people's opinions, because this is so horrible for you to do. This is so rude and just mean. And you're just trying to get a rise out of me, and I'm not going to give it to you. I'm just getting frustrated at your actions because it makes me mad. And I want you to understand that what you're doing is just a horrible thing to do, and it's not going to get you anywhere in life. So please stop talking and stop poking at my donut sweater.
And they're just like,
and then they're just like, okay,
fine.
And then I'm like, shut up.
Shut up.
You know, like, and
oh my gosh.
And like, if it's a serious problem, if they get a talking to like that, and they legitimately get told, shut up, in the most serious way possible, and then if you're like, fine, and then you should be like, okay, I'm sorry. You know, at that point, if someone's not, like,
then they're like,
I'm so sorry, then you have a legitimate problem on your hands.
Then they like donuts a little too much.
Then they like donuts a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I hate people.
Next time, if I remember, next time you have that donut sweater, I'm gonna be like, can I have a donut?
Donut.
I'm gonna eat your donut.
I'm gonna eat a donut.
Donut.
Are those coins on your sweater? No, they're circles. I like donuts.
Oh, circles. It's a big circle with a little circle in it.
Hate
and
it.
it's made of donut.
God, there's so much that people do, and I'm like, stop.
Like, be quiet.
People just don't know how to shut up.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway.
That's the culprit. But podcasts is cool.
So everybody listening, shut up. I'm kidding.
Somebody's gonna listen to this.
I'd be like, oh.
I was listening to a podcast today, Sad Boys podcast, with Jarvis
Johnson.
And I forgot.
I don't remember the other guy's name. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. But I was listening to their podcast, and they were like, yeah, it's so funny to shout out somebody and be like, yeah, Jim from Jersey, who's currently in college and working on who's in like art school, and they're working on Procreate right now. And then like one guy is like
oh my God, it's me. It's talking to me.
It's the sort of thing of like, I want to go. I really want to just go up to strangers and just be like, think of a card, Ace of Spades, and then like it's not gonna work. Like
wait,
100 out of 101 times, but one person is just gonna be like,
everybody think of a card right now, and I'll guess it.
Yeah, everybody think of one card right now. Okay, you got it?
3 of clubs.
That's the 3 clubs right there.
I saw it. My third eye opened.
See, I love that. I love that sort of stuff because when you're reaching enough people, one person is just going to be like, "Oh my god!" And that's what
he's talking to me.
That's what they were talking about in the podcast. They were like, "What?" Back in the day, they used to do like, for like very Christian things. They used to be on TV, and they would be like, "Jim from Ohio, I feel that one of you has you have like a little tingle in your ankle, and that's cancer, but we're going to heal it for you right now.
We're going to heal it for you with the Holy Lord.
With the Holy Lord. so
that was the cancer. It's gone now.
Cancer. It's gone.
It's gone. He coughed it out.
But when you have a broad area, you could really narrow it down.
I would love to do that.
And one person just going to be like...
Yeah, Fiona from Sacramento, California, who is working a 9 to 5 right now and listening to our podcast. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Fiona.
We really
appreciate you. Do you think we should just release this as an episode on our own, or should we bring in people and have it be a long episode?
I like this.
As its own?
Yeah. Well, we had such like
a genuine conversation.
Yeah, I keep squeaking in this chair, darn
That's okay.
Yeah, we had such a genuine conversation, and then it's like kind of funny. So if we just bring someone else, and it's like, ha ha, poo poo, ha ha.
Ha ha, poo poo, ha ha.
But it's just like super serious and then only funny. Yeah. I think we've had like a really good blend.
We have had
This is going to go on the podcast Hall of Fame. That wraps up.
This is the only Croft and Warrior podcast with just me and you on it.
Just me and you.
But I think it's really good about the general state that the internet's in.
I think we should just talk about the political
that Jaden Smith quote.
I don't like it.
That's so dumb. Anywho.
I shouldn't say. I'm not going to say a Christmas thing because that's for the Christmas podcast.
No, you shouldn't say a Christmas thing for the quote of the day. Speaking of the quote of the day, I think we should read an outro.
I
think it's about time.
I'd say so.
That music has been fading in. We started this with Deck the Halls.
Deck the halls with...
It's Christmas season.
Yeah,
it counts.
Potato.
It's fine.
Tomato, tomato.
We've got about an outro.
Wait, can you just like loop the one that we sang before over this and fade it? You know?
I'll find some royalty-free Christmas
music. I gotcha. Just like
Speaking of which, that royalty-free Christmas music has been fading in.
Yeah.
As this time has gone on. So, anywho, thank you everyone for listening to this Croft and Warrior podcast. We really appreciate your continued support and all the fun stuff that not only Quinlan and I get to do, but the entire journalism team as a whole. We've been making TikToks, we've been making social media posts, we've been doing everything. It's a great time. Thank you so much for everything. You can catch us on Instagram at Croft and Journalism, TikTok at Warrior Journalism, Croft and Warriors on Facebook and Twitter, at Jack Schieffer on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok if you want just me. If you want just Quinlan, just go to his house or something.
I might give you coal.
Yeah, this is not the last episode of this semester, by the way.
Forever.
We're gonna have another Christmas one, as we just figured out.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Quinlan, quote of the day.
Respect people from Nebraska more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only Nebraska, though.
Only Nebraska. Any other famous person, you suck.
Whoa. But Warren Buffett's really good.
Warren Buffett.
Thurl Raven.
I'm Josh, you other famous people.
Yeah.
I find you cool.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Anywho, thank you everybody for listening.
Appreciate it.
This has been the Croft and Warrior podcast. We'll see you next Monday on Christmas.
On Christmas Eve.
Merry early Christmas.
Happy early Merry time.
Happy early Merry time.
Have a good day. Have a good day.